Good morning, dear students. Today we'll be learning a bit more about integers. To begin our session today, we'll be starting with some very important properties of addition and multiplication so that we can understand integers more properly. I know you'll have studied integers in class 6, but these properties are very important, so we need to have a recap of all these. And all these properties are based on addition and multiplication. First property, and before we start with any of the explanation of the properties, we'll assume three values of integers that are a, b and c. That means a, b and c belong to integers, we are assuming, to understand these properties properly. First property is closure property. Closure property of addition says that if we are adding two integers, then the sum will also be an integer. That means if a belongs to integer and b belongs to integer, then their sum, that is a plus b, will also belongs to integer. Closure property of multiplication states the same thing. If a belongs to integer, b belongs to integer, then the product will also be an integer value. Second property, commutative property of addition. Commutative property of addition states that if we are adding b to a, it will be similar to adding a to b. That means the position does not matter while we are adding. Commutative property of multiplication, it states that if we are multiplying b by a, it will be similar to multiplying a by b. Right? Associative property, associative property of addition, suppose we are adding c to the sum of a and b, it will be similar to adding a to the sum of b and c. In the same way, multiplicative associative property of multiplication, it says that if we are multiplying c with the product of a and b, it will be similar to multiplying a with the product of b into c. Right? Next property is additive identity property. That means identity means same. Identity means same. That means what we should add to an integer so that the integer remains same. So we will add 0. Right? For example, suppose what I should add in 5 so that 5 remains 5. Obviously answer will be 0. So the additive identity is 0 for integers. Now multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity says that what we should multiply to an integer so that the integer remains same. Same example we can take. Like suppose we want 5 to remain 5 after multiplication. So what we should multiply to 5 so that 5 remains 5? We will multiply it by 1. Right? So multiplicative identity of an integer is 1. Next law, that is distributive property of multiplication over addition. We can understand this with the help of this example. Suppose there are three integers a, b and c. So a is being multiplied by the sum of b and c. In this case, what happens is, according to distributive law, a will be multiplied by b first, then plus sign, then a will be multiplied by c. So this is our distributive law. We understand this law with the help of one example. Let us take one example. Suppose value of a is 1, b is -2 and c is 3. Right? By applying distributive law, we'll write 1 underneath a For B we'll write minus 2. For C we'll write plus 3. Right? The law says multiply A by B first. That is 1 into minus 2. Then multiply 1 by 3. Plus multiply 1 by 3. 1 into minus 2 is minus 2. Plus 3 into 1 is 3. When signs are different, what we do, children, is we subtract the smaller numerical value from the bigger numerical value and put the sign of the bigger integer. Right? So 3 minus 2 will be 1. Right? This is according to distributive law. Suppose we apply BODMAS. Suppose we apply BODMAS. According to BODMAS, let us see what is the answer. So it is 1 bracket minus 2 plus 3. BODMAS says solve bracket first. So inside bracket we have got minus 2 plus 3. So 1 into minus 2 plus 3, answer is plus 1. Right? 1 into 1 will give us 1. That means the answer in both the cases is same. Whether we apply distributive property or whether we apply BODMAS rule, the answer will be same. Next thing that we need to study is about four fundamental operations that are involved in integers, that are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Before we start about knowing them in a better way, first we should know the sign conversion that will be used, right, in multiplication and divisions, because sign conversions will be used in addition and subtraction. So before we go ahead with addition and subtraction of integers, let us understand the sign conversions, right? How signs are multiplied and what finally we get as the final sign answer, right? Suppose for multiplication first. For multiplication, if signs are same, the rule says if two signs are same and they are being multiplied, the answer will always be plus. That means plus into plus will give me plus, minus into minus will give me plus. That means if signs are same, if same signs are being multiplied, then the answer will be plus. And if different signs are being multiplied, the answer will always be, the sign will always have a minus sign. The sign will always have a minus sign. The same thing applies for division as well. When two similar signs are being divided, the answer will always have a positive sign. When signs are different and division is there between them, then the answer will always have a negative sign. Right? That means plus divided by minus is minus, minus divided by plus will also be minus. Right? The first fundamental operation that we'll be doing is addition, that is sum. But before that, we need to understand the rules for addition that we'll be following for solving them. First rule says if the sign of the integers are same that are to be added, the integers that we are going to add, if the signs are same, then we'll add the numerical values, not the sign. We'll add the numerical values of the integer and put the sign of the bigger integer in the answer. But if in case the integers that we are adding like this, they are having different sign. It is having minus sign and this is having a plus sign. When nothing is there, we assume it to be plus. Then in that case, we'll be following, we'll subtract the lower numerical value from the bigger one. 21 will be subtracted from 210 and then we will put the sign of the bigger integer. Bigger integer will be minus, right, in this case. So let us understand this in depth by following this particular example. First one is minus 500 and minus 100. We have to add them. So first I will write minus 500 in bracket followed by minus 100 in bracket. So now these two integers are to be added. Therefore I will put a plus sign in between. Right? Next we will follow the the sign conversion of multiplication that I taught you just now before. Right? Plus, when nothing is there, we assume it to be plus. Plus into minus is minus 500. Plus into minus will give you minus 100. Now we'll apply these two rules. When signs are same, we will add the numerical values of the integer. Add 500 and 100, that will give you 600. Then it says put the sign of the bigger integer. Bigger integer is 500 and the sign it has is minus. So my answer will be minus 600. Right? Second example, 450. We'll write 400 in bracket, 50 in bracket. In between we need to perform addition. So I will put a plus sign. Plus into plus is plus 400. Plus into plus is plus 50. Right? Now since signs are same, it is having a plus sign. 400 is having a plus sign. When nothing is there, we assume it to be plus. So signs are same. We add the terms. 400 plus 50 is 450. And we'll put a sign of the bigger one. Bigger one is having plus sign. If you want to put plus, you can put plus. If you don't want to put any sign, we can assume it to be plus. Right? Third question is 100 and minus 40. Sorry, 1000 and minus 40. Now these two are to be added. Right? First we'll apply the sign conversion of multiplication. Plus into plus is plus 1000. Plus into minus is minus. Now since the signs of the integers that we are getting are different, we'll subtract the lower one from the bigger one. That will give us 960 and put the sign of the bigger one. You want to write like this plus 960 or you can write it also like 960 and this will be our answer. Right? Next one, minus 210 and 21. Minus 210 and here we'll have 21. We have to add these two, right? Plus into minus is minus 210. Plus into plus is plus 21. When signs are different, we'll subtract the lower from the bigger one. 210 minus 21 is 189 and put the sign of the bigger integer. That will be minus, right? This was for addition. Now let us do subtraction. Right? In the same we'll be doing subtraction now and we'll see how things will work here. Subtraction, suppose there are two integers a and b. So we'll write it as a minus b. This can also be solved using additive inverse method. That is a plus inverse of b. We'll study about inverse later on, but this is also one method for doing subtraction of integers, right? We'll follow a simple method that I have taught you just now. Minus 500 and minus 100 are to be subtracted. I have written them in bracket. We have to perform subtraction, therefore I will put a minus sign here. Plus into minus is minus 500. Minus minus will give you plus 100. Signs are different, therefore we'll subtract the bigger one from the, we'll subtract the smaller one from the bigger one and we'll put the sign of the bigger number. 100 minus 500 is 400, right? Next one, 450. We need to subtract them, so we'll put a minus sign here. Plus into plus is plus 400. Minus into plus is minus 50. 400 minus 50 is 350. Right? Now in this case, 1000 and minus 40. In between, we need to perform subtraction. So we will put a minus sign. Plus into plus is plus 1000. Minus into minus is plus 40. 1000 plus 40 will give you 1040 as your answer. Right? Now in this, minus 210 and 21 both are to be subtracted. So therefore I will put a minus sign here. Plus into minus is minus 210. Minus into plus is minus 21. Now since signs are same, we will add the integers and put the sign of the bigger integer. 210 plus 21 will give you 231 with a minus sign. So this was all about subtraction. Now we will be dealing with multiplication. For multiplication, children, we need to understand the following thing, that if two integers, suppose a and b, are to be multiplied, the numerical value of the integers will be multiplied with the numerical value of the integers, and the sign will be multiplied by a sign. We will not follow this rule anymore. This was for addition and subtraction. We will be following a simple rule for multiplication and division. The numerical value of the integer will be multiplied with the numerical value, and the sign of one integer will be multiplied with the sign of the other integer. For example, like in these two integers, we need to perform multiplication, right? So I have put the multiplication sign. I said sign will be multiplied by sign. Minus will be multiplied by minus. Minus into minus is plus. 500 into 1000 will give you 50,000. Right? Second one, 450. So we need to multiply 450. Plus into plus will give you plus only. 400 into 50 will give you 20,000. Right? Third one, 1000 and minus 40 we need to multiply. So therefore I will put a multiplicative sign there. Now plus into minus will give you minus. 1000 into 40 will give you 40,000. Right? Next one, minus 210 into 21. Minus into plus will give you minus. 210 into 21. 21 and 21 is 441. This will be your answer. Now next thing that we will be doing is division. The same method we will be applying for division also. Sign will be divided by sign, and integer value will be multiplied by integer value. Minus divided by minus will give you plus. 500 divided by 100 will give you 5. So your answer is 5. 400 divided by 50 plus divided by plus will give you plus. 400 divided by 50 will give you 8. Right? Next one, 1000 and minus 40. We need to divide them. Plus divided by minus, answer will always be minus. 1000 divided by 40 will give you minus 25 as your answer. Now here we need to divide again. Minus divided by plus will give you minus. 210 divided by 21 will give you minus 10. So it was all about the 4 fundamental operations that we need to perform in integers.